With all the talks of tariffs, with all the talks of volatility, with even a bird flu going on, today we're going to talk about 5 things that you should purchase immediately, things that you should buy this week, and I definitely say before the end of this month. Because what we're going to see is, yes, tariffs I do believe are good things. Yes, I do believe negotiations are great. Yes, we need to talk about new trade. Yes, we need to have leverage when we speak to these other countries about making sure that everything is equal. But before that takes place, you're going to be in a lull, a time that things can cost more. Also, the fact that with these negotiations, there could be some things that come in shortage. So that's why it's important. It's an imperative to us to take care of our families. 5 things that I bought this week I think that you should purchase, and we're going to walk through them right now. Let's dive in. Hey guys, welcome to the Max. Thank you so very much for being here today. Today is going to be a prepping video. We're going to talk about things that we purchased this week because we find the necessity in it because of the talks of tariffs, because of the situations that are going on in our world. The current state of affairs is a crazy time. Yes, it's getting better, but during this time, I think that we should always be prepared. Never put your guard down. Let's talk about things that we should purchase this week. Now, the reason we do these videos are to help you and to really help us too. Our goal is to work together to be better, to be wiser, and have a common sense approach. That way we don't fear and worry about some of the things that's coming our way. We prepare for those things as the reality sets in. Number 1 is health. Now, what do you mean by health? Let's go through this list because a lot of these 5s that I have several things that you could go with it. Number 1 would be medicine. So I tell you to go buy an emergency preparedness kit. For sure, Jace, wellness, duration, it doesn't matter who you buy from. Buy some medicine that is prescribed medicine that can be bought for emergency preparedness. Here's why. You're going to spend $200 or $300. I'm not going to lie to you. It could be kind of costly. The purpose of it is this, though. When we start getting in these negotiations and tariff wars with China, we'll talk about another tariff that they're just putting on the steel and aluminum. Why is that a big deal and why does that affect medicine? Because it's all about leverage. Where do we get our antibiotics from? China and India. Right now, if you buy stockpiled emergency medicine, it is on the shelf in America already. If you don't purchase it now, guess what? The cost will go up. Not just for emergency preparedness medicine, but also for the fact of medicine that you buy every day. Is your copays going to go up? I don't know. Is the fact that your medicine won't be covered anymore under certain insurances because of all this talk of leverage and tariffs? I don't know. Why have the unknown when you can purchase preparedness medicine? We bought a few things. I'm going to kind of walk through. We bought potassium iodine just for the chance of nuclear talks. You can buy that over the counter. We bought Fenbin, which you can look into it. It's something that was spoke about to be anti-carcinogenic. We also bought emergency preparedness medicine. I bought from 2 companies this time just because of the different variations of medicine. I bought from the Wellness Company and then I also bought from Jace Medical. I have some links below. You can look at them, no big deal. I also bought an EpiPen because we are getting into the time of bees for me, so we're going to be doing some more splitting of our bee houses, so therefore that's important to me. Here's what else I bought. I bought liquor. Why did I buy liquor? Because we buy high volume, high proof alcohol, such as vodka, bourbon, or Everclear. Why do we do that? Because we build tinctures. This time of year, my wife cannot breathe. She's got bad allergies. So we build tinctures based on some of the goldenrod that we had growing in fall. We have, look, I'll show you. I mean, just prime example. Now, I know you can't see this really good, but this is our herbal medicine shelf. So we have goldenrod, we have usnea, we have fever combo, we have sage, oregano, we have dead nettle tea, we have mullein, we have our own capsules that we built that's made of our liver from our animals. We have tons of herbs over there. Why do we have all that? Elderberry. Because we build herbal remedies and herbal tinctures out of that. Well, the main necessity of that is liquor or glycerin. Now, we like liquor because of the proof and the fact that it takes all the proponents of the goodness of what God gives us with these plants and with this medicinal herbs to be good for us. Remember, everybody stays sick all year long, so that's what we've been doing. So number 1, it is herbal remedies, it is medicine, it is things that you could think of that may not be easy to get. in a tariff war. Number 2, as I said, guess what? There is a new tariff on steel and aluminum. Any product such as those, because we are trying to push towards American manufacturing. Well, we just did a great deal with Japan with Nippon Steel. I mean, it's like going to be $1 trillion deal. Huge. But again, through this time period, there will be some tariffs on some foreign steel coming in. So number 2, I purchased a new self-defense tool this week. Now, it's kind of shaped like that. The reason I purchased that, though, is because it's American made. It's at today's pricing. If we wait a few weeks, I talked to someone who actually owns a self-defense store and has a pawn store, and he said, to be honest with you, I'm going to think that you're going to see brass projectiles and self-defense tools go up. He said, just because of the speculation of steel. He said, not that they're going to use the steel from foreign sources, not that it's actually going to make a dent because they probably have so many of these built already. He said it will cause it to go up because of the speculation. Remember, it's actually the prices of self-defense two-way rights have went down since Trump has been president because he's actually made it easier for carry. Don't miss out on this opportunity to pick them up before the price may go up. So I bought a new one this week. I like the CR920. It's a shadow system that I personally purchased. It's a 9. Something I like. It's just what I choose to purchase. My son and I are doing a long range class very soon to be able to go distance. So we're fixing to purchase another version of it to be able to shoot the distance, to have the capabilities of the binoculars or the scope, and then also the full setup to be able to do long range shooting. So number 2, purchase some steel and brass in a two-way rights kind of form, if you get what I'm saying. Self-defense is key. Number 2, this would be a great purchase. Number 3, I'm going to blow your mind, but this is what everybody should purchase right now. Number 3, livestock. Now, what do I mean? I'm going to go in depth here, okay? Because a lot of times people say, well, I'm 70 years old. I'm not going to buy a cow. I live in an apartment. I can't buy a chicken. Here's what I'm talking about. Because of the bird flu, you have seen chicken, eggs, dairy, and beef be more expensive. So here's what I mean. If you are older and not able to own animals, chickens are pretty easy. Right now, you can pick up chickens. They're laying houses, especially like if you buy from a hatchery online, or you go to Tractor Supply or your local co-op. They're putting out turkeys, ducks, and chickens right now. Every one of those will lay eggs. Turkeys, not so much. I wouldn't get turkeys, but I would look at ducks or chickens because this gives you a source of protein for economics. You can pick up little bitties, basically little chicks or little ducklings for $3 to $5 a piece, even if you buy them online or buy them at a co-op. Pick up 4 or 5, pick up 10, pick up 12, build you a little small run in your yard, and now you have an egg layer, a meat source, and listen to this, you have fertilizer, natural organic fertilizer from that chicken. So now you are becoming a gardener. You are a true farmer. Now, say for instance, you can't do that. Say you live in an apartment. Say you live a place that just has a small yard and you can't have chickens. Have you thought about rabbits? You can pick up rabbits for usually $7 to $10 a piece. You can grow a rabbit in a small cage. Here's what you got again. If you don't want the meat source, you have ableness to sell bunnies. You also have a fertilizer. We use rabbit manure as a cold fertilizer on every crop that we have. We just planted new legacy fruit trees for our property, for our family. Hopefully that will grow over the next years. We planted more pecans, we planted more gardens, and we use rabbit manure for that. That's pretty easy. Those are small animals. Now, what if you said, well, Colby, I'm older. I'm not even looking at animals. I could care less about an animal. Then you support a farmer and you start buying locally. You know how you can have water glassed eggs like that? You buy from a local person who sells chicken eggs. There is someone in your community that sells eggs, and I bet you for dirt cheap compared to a store. Tell him you don't want them washed. You'll even come help him get the eggs out of the coop if you can have them like that. So then you can start stockpiling eggs. Eggs are going to be a big deal very soon. The cost of them are going up. So if you can't buy chicken, you can't buy rabbit, and you don't want to deal with that, then you need to find a farmer or a friend at a local market store or a local farmer's market, and you start talking to them about finding ways that you can buy off farm. For instance, this time of year, spring, is when you start seeing farmers really turn around and start selling a lot of meat. For instance, we're taking a steer right now, literally, to get processed. We just processed hog last week. We have more hog coming up in March. We're having piglets. So, for instance, we're going to be selling piglets very, very soon. Our chickens are starting to lay again, so we're having more eggs. This is the time to buy from the farmer because they're going to come in surplus in spring. If you're looking at bees, this is the time to buy because they start splitting their hives. For instance, we'll be splitting hives in the next few weeks. So if you're looking for any kind of livestock or you're looking to support a farmer, this is the most economical time to do it because this is when they need your support because they're going to be paying and buying a lot more right now. They're going to be doing a lot more bartering, a lot more horse trading, and they're also going to be having a lot more piglets, chicks, rabbits, bunnies, cows, whatever you want to say. This is the time. We start dropping a lot of lambs right now. We start dropping a lot of calves right now. We start having a lot more chicks. We're actually buying more chicks to put on our farm and to incubate eggs. So this is the time. Number 3, livestock. You either buy livestock and you start growing them. You start buying a backyard chicken or a backyard bunny and start growing them because they're going to be your fertilizer, your meat source, and also a protein source. Or you start supporting a local farm. Do not miss out on this opportunity. Facebook is one good thing about Facebook or about social media or about a local co-op is you can find sources of feed and food for you and your family from a farmer. Do not miss out on this opportunity right now. Number 4 would be petroleum or gas. We are starting to produce more and more as we speak. We've talked about this. Trump is wanting to drill. He's wanting to mine. But because of tariffs, because of all the problems. For instance, we order something from a provider that sells to us at our kind of ministry business that we have. And they put what they call a fuel adjustment fee on there. And I asked him, I said, well, fuel is down. Why would you put this on me? And listen to what he said. He said, well, because of all the talks of tariffs and the speculation that it's going to cause some bidding wars and trade wars, we honestly believe that fuel is going to go up. So we're going to go and stick this charge on you. Now, did that mean the fuel actually went up? Not necessarily. And actually, with the fact that Trump is wanting to support more countries with our own fuel, it's actually going to probably make us produce more, which usually makes it go down. But because the speculation and because the Middle East is always volatile, fuel could go up. Also, Russia's trying to find buyers, so we're going to put more tariffs on their fuel, more embargoes on their fuel, on Venezuela and on Iran, which has already been talked about. It could see a price increase or speculation. So this week, for instance, look, because winter is kind of ending here, these are on sale. These are little propane bottles for our little buddy heaters and for our little campfire grills. We bought several of these. We also filled up our propane tanks, our big ones like we use for grills and things like that. We also filled up our big tank because winter is coming out. They start giving discounts for spring and summertime because no one's hardly buying natural gas or propane this time of year. So we started buying it because it's a little bit more economical now than it is in winter. So I bought some propane. We also bought a lot more gas and diesel. We keep a diesel tank at our house because we own a farm. And we also bought a few extra jugs of gas this week. Why do we do that? Because we know it's going to go up. And like, what do we always talk about? If you buy it now, and it goes up 10, 15, 20%, then that gives you a 10 or 15 or 20% savings that you can now get at a discount because you bought it today's pricing versus in a few months. Do not miss on the opportunity to purchase fuel of some sort. Now, this could be wood because you're still in winter. That's a fuel source. This could be gas because you need it for your car. This could be a simple solar generator because you have gas, you have diesel, but you need ways to run things in your home. That's a form of energy or fuel. It could be like me, it could be propane. It could be having a bigger tank of propane. It could be buying smaller tanks of propane. Whatever it may be, this is the time to purchase because you're going to see the speculation push the price up. It's kind of like we talked about with self-defense and two-way rights. You're going to see the price go up because of speculation. Now, eventually, it will go back down. Trump just said that he's fixing to fill up the strategic oil reserve back. The fastest time that has ever been filled up. That's a good sign. And hopefully that will mean we will generate more, which will drop the price. But until that point, I want to make sure I have enough fuel and enough energy sources that I can be protected. So this week, I bought extra propane and extra gas and extra diesel. Now number 5 is a little bit different, and I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm not a broker. I'm not anything that you should be listening to other than just giving you my personal opinion. Now, why I want to say that is this, because you need to do your own due diligence research. Because of the talk of Trump really investing in America and pushing American business, American manufacturing, I have some money in a money market account. I mean, you know, we've put it up because I don't trust some of the stocks and things like that. However, I did release some of that back to gold mining stocks this week, also to oil stocks this week, also to things like precious metals or rare earth minerals mining this week. Now, why did I do that? Because I believe that Trump is going to help push commodities and gold mining and rare earth mineral mining. I think of uranium, I think of copper, I think of companies that could help benefit American manufacturing and put people back to work. If Trump is wanting to invest in America, part of investing in America is putting those kind of jobs back to work. So for me personally, stocks are pretty cheap when it comes to gold mining and gold companies. Also, stocks are pretty cheap when it comes to silver or to copper or to even oil. So this week, that's what I put some money in. You don't have to do that. I just have a little E-Trade account. I just move stuff over and put it in there. I also have a little Edward Jones account. I did the same thing. So, I mean, we're talking a few $100. We move here. A few $100. We move here. If that's something that doesn't interest you, that's okay. I just invested in commodities. Now, the reason I want to bring that up is my commodity investment is not just in the market, in commodities, or in rare earth minerals or precious metals. Let me show you this. This is all commodities. And what I mean by that, that's flour, that's corn, that's rice, that's oats, that's artisan, different kinds of wheat berries. That is commodities. So if you say, Colby, I'm not touching the stock market, I don't trust it. That's okay, don't. But then why don't you look at other things like that? So I've been buying and stockpiling commodities, tangible, foods, tangible, but then I'm also making sure I'm opening avenues for myself to say, okay, yes, I have gold bullion, but right now it's so expensive, I can't buy gold bullion. So I'm buying gold stock. I can't right now look at growing, acres of corn, so I'm gonna make sure I buy some extra corn to put up or some extra wheat to put up. Non-GMO, heirloom, organic versions of that. Look, I think that Trump is going to open up, drill baby drill. So therefore, I'm going to invest in mining companies or drilling companies when it comes to my stock investments. And hey, I can put a few dollars in here, a few dollars in there, a few dollars in here, because I believe it could benefit me. So here's what I'm saying. Be wise. All these things that I told you, none of these may benefit you. One of these may benefit you. 4 of these may benefit you. Either way, you need to say, you know what? That doesn't work, but that made me think of this. I need to buy this week. Because of the tariffs, because of the volatility, because of the craziness with agreements and leverage and all the talks, yes, I do believe all these things are good. I actually do believe tariffs can be good because they're used for leverage. I do believe we've already seen the benefits of some of that. However, that doesn't mean it's not just an uphill battle. That doesn't mean that speculation will not make some things go up. It's kind of like what we call a lesser evil. We know for a time to go through it, we may face higher prices. If you're buying, cheap steel and all of a sudden, or cheap wood, and they're coming from overseas and all of a sudden there's a tariff on them, then you're going to pay more for it. But ultimately what it may do is benefit the fact of the American manufacturing and kick back off and our local economies do better and inflation go back down. So until that point though, I want to make sure I'm always ready. I'm always putting up egg. I'm always putting up vegetables. Look, I want to show you one more thing, and this is not part of it, but part of livestock is you buy garden seeds. You buy things that you need. We raise all our own food. You've seen the potatoes and all that, but look, this is a sack of tuber potatoes. Now, we have tons of what you call tuber seeds, or basically old potatoes that we grow each and every year. But I wanted a bigger harvest this year, so I went to a local co-op, bought some non-GMO red potatoes, and guess what? I'll be planting them this next week. Think through what you can do to make yourself 1 to 2 to 3 or 4 or 5% better, more independent, and more focused on raising things for your family, being wiser, and being smarter. Pick up these 5 things today. There's a lot of numbers and a lot of ways you can look at these 5. Make sure that you're investing in yourself and in your family. Guys, thank you so much for watching. God bless.